Hello, dear friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will continue checking the games and the results of Challengers Group, Veikan Z, Tata Steel. Let's go. Frederick Svane didn't manage to win with the white pieces against Artur. Pitch pairs. Let's see the game. Yes, for some reason, Artur decided to start with knight f6 on third move. Yes, it's very much possible. Maybe he really wanted to avoid some c takes d, queen d4, or maybe c takes d, knight d4, knight f6, some bishop d3. Anyway, we are having dragon, and I want to recommend you this knight c6, f3, and h5. And if bishop c4 is the best move, if queen d2, then knight takes d4. If queen d4, bishop g7, and if bishop d4, bishop h6. Bishop e3, bishop takes c3, queen takes c3, bishop e6, bishop b5, king f8. And here, if I'm not mistaken, short castle was played by Grigoriy Oparin against uh, Dubov, 2024 World Rapid or Blitz Championship. And here in this position, it was World Rapid Championship. I played against Richard Rapport, and he simply uh, slowly outplayed me. After bishop a4, queen a5, my idea was to play bishop b3 and take with the a pawn. But here you can see that after bishop b3, white cannot really take with the a pawn. And here I went short castle, rook c8, bishop b3, and queen c5. Black doesn't have any problems. So bishop g7, f3, knight c6, queen d2, short castle. And here we know that long castle is the main move. d5, e takes d, knight d5, knight c6, b takes c, bishop d4, bishop c4. Yes, honestly speaking, I'm not aware of this queen a5 move that much. Long castle, knight takes d4, bishop e6. Yes, I know that bishop b3 is possible move. We can even check it. Yes. Bishop b3, b5, king b1. We see that Arthur pitch pairs didn't really spend any time. Bishop takes e6, f takes c, rook e1, knight e7, bishop takes, e5. Yes, if knight e5, I guess some f4 ideas are coming. Yes, f4 is coming. d5, a3. Yes, seems like both both the players are prepared. Knight e2 takes. Yes, both the players are aware of this position. Knight b8, knight d4, king f7. f4, knight c6, knight f3. Not really allowing trade of these knights. h6, stopping knight g5, h4. Yes, this is the first position that Frederick didn't know, and he went h4. But we see that Arthur is still in his prep. White is better. White doesn't have any risks, but maybe it's not really enough to for the win. King e8, g3, king d7, rook e3, h5, b3, b5, rook b8. White is better. Yes, king c1, and already white doesn't have anything. And Frederick couldn't really pose much problems. Yes, good prep by Arthur pitch pairs. He got some slightly unpleasant position, but I have some big doubts that maybe Leach's engines are lying, showing something more, but with the modern computers, engines, uh, they won't show anything significant for white. Good prep. And we are having another game. Erwin Lamy, one of the leaders of the tournament, was facing one of the rating favorites of the tournament, Nodirbek Yakuboev. And Nodirbek plays c5 and d6 and Najdorf. Nodirbek always has some ideas. Usually he surprises his opponents. And here we see very safe and very solid bishop e3, knight f3 line by Erwin. Knight c6, queen e2. Yes, last couple of years I was playing bishop e6 here, bishop e6, f takes c, knight g5, queen d7, and if bishop b3, knight b7, rook c8. But uh, previously I was playing this line also, b5, bishop e6. Uh, yes, maybe knight a5 was another option. And here computer likes more, but we already clearly see that yes, this was definitely not been prepared by Nodirbek, because you see that already on this move, knight c6, he spent some time, yes, about 12 minutes. Yes, already here about 30 minutes. Yes, and here we see that he has only 49 minutes. And 91, um, so many years I'm playing Najdorf, and I was also playing for the white side. I don't remember this 91 idea. I uh, simply, I don't think I have ever seen any 91 move. 95, very logical move. And what if, let's say, knight takes c4? I guess some bishop b6 moves are finishing the game. Yes. 91. I just want to understand where this knight goes. Knight d3, but let's say even if I just play queen c7, maybe you want to play some g3, knight g2, but you are weakening too much, and yes, later on it's really hard to say where should this bishop go from e3. Queen c7. What else engines are saying? Rook b8 or knight a5. Knight d5. Bishop d5. Bishop d5. Takes, knight b8. Yes, computer also likes queen b7. Maybe the point was to play knight d5 and eventually queen g4 after all these trades. Or maybe just to have pawn on c2 protected. So knight b8, f3, knight d7, rook d1, d4, rook d2, rook c8, a5. And here black is already slightly better, knight c5, knight a4. Some other moves are also possible, like queen b6 or queen a7 or even a4. So these engines are recommending c4, rook b1, and now black is much better already. Knight b6, knight is coming to c4, takes, and please, dear friends, what you can see, knight on e1 is quite awkwardly placed. Bishop g5, rook c6, And now just rook c8. Another back played queen c5, g3, rook d1, d5 takes this, queen e4 takes, knight d3, and here players agreed in a draw. And Oro Faustino lost against Edis Gurel, who started winning some games in a row, but he also lost a couple of games previously. And of course, tournament doesn't go well for Faustino, but of course, I think for for him, very nice experience. So d4, and here Catalan. Yes, here queen a4 is another move. I would say he's slightly mixed up, maybe, because usually when black is playing d takes c, a6, knight c6, then this e3, queen e2 ideas are quite good, but when black doesn't waste time on a6 move, doesn't look this e3, queen e2 ideas that convincing. This b5, b3 takes, and again a6. Uh, yes, should be 2, rook c1 or rook d1, and black doesn't have already any problems. Knight e5 takes, rook b6, e4, queen b8, king g1, maybe rook c5, not the easiest move. Bishop a3, yes, bishop a3, quite typical move. Trading on b4 and then getting these nice c6 moves. King g1, queen b7. Again, engines are recommending g4. And now white is in huge trouble. Rook d8, a5. Why he's retreating the knight from e5, hard to say. Black is much better. And now just better for black. Peter says queen d1 or rook c4. White is very close to equalize the position. And another inaccuracy. And here queen b7 and black is much better, maybe even close to winning. Now queen c4 would have been better. Some inaccuracies and mistakes. But let's say if we can understand the mistakes before time increment. Here uh, we can really blame the players. They had enough time to figure out. And we see that knight c2, g5 would have been better. Rook c6. Engine likes more g6. Wow. Yes, eventually h5. Now rook a8. This was played and check. And king f1, king g1, king e1, e3. And this rook g2. And Faustino resigned. Nguyen Daiwan drew with the black pieces against Nogerbek Kazibek. Queen e2. Something similar was played by Nihal Sarin against me. Takes, short castle, a4, a5, knight d1, knight c4. Computer likes something else. f4, knight a5, f5. As white doesn't have anything. And slowly, black doesn't have problems. Maybe black is trying. And here, rook d3, king f2, rook b3, takes, rook h8. Nothing serious. Yes, game ended in a draw. Volk won with the black pieces against Irina Bulmaga. a3, g4, and Bok goes d5, takes, queen d2, long castle, knight e5, knight c4, queen c3, yes, h4. Computer doesn't like this f4, and already after f4, white is in some trouble. b5, black is much better already. And takes, bishop f6. Black is much better and already winning. And of course, Bok didn't give any real chances. Queen e3, classy move. Some other moves are also winning. And G and H pawns are finishing the game. Once again, Irina had a very good prep. At least I don't remember this move order. Bishop e3, bishop e2, and a3. Really hard to understand the point, but it was some prep. And now g4, and after d5, what other moves am I having? Short castle, for example, d5, and now takes queen d2, short castle, long castle, knight e5. Yeah, she doesn't have any problems, and maybe she's slightly better, but at some point when she pushed the pawn, f pawn, yes, she got some problems. So my question, of course, it was expected for this round because tournament doesn't go well for her. She was having very promising positions and even easily could achieve a draw, but unfortunately this tournament doesn't go well for her. So my main question is how mm, uh, she was invited to this tournament. Because with my rating 2650, it was 2024, middle of the year. I was simply begging the organizers of the tournament to play the tournament with a huge respect to them and to Irina. Uh, but eventually, I didn't get the spot opportunity to play the tournament. Of course, we kind of agreed that if I'm keeping my 2650 rating or around that, I will get eventually close to the start of the tournament. Uh, my rating I dropped, but not much. Yes, but she was invited. Okay, we do have Chinese 14 years old girl against Aydin Suleimanli, and we see this line. I think she played this line against Nogerbek and she won. But here, instead of knight d4, queen e2, we see d5, and she definitely has something here. Bishop d7. I think another move is possible here. Short castle, yes. Knight d2 takes bishop b6, and yes, she didn't know this position and went knight b3, short castle, rook e8, queen c3, f6, e4, takes queen g5. Yes, with such a good bishop on c5 and some control over dark squares, white cannot be worse, but of course white cannot really fight for something more. Uh, yes. But here already yes, bishop a7 move was possible, and maybe what is much better already. Here rook e4 would have been better. Let's see, bishop a7, I guess maybe some c5. Takes and just rook e2. d6. And players agreed in a draw after rook f2, rook e1, rook f1. And we are having another game, Vaishali against Divya. Olympic champions, teammates are facing each other. And bishop g5. And usually we know h6, bishop h4, bishop e7. Bishop e7 was played by Divya. a4, h6. Anyway, bishop h4. Or maybe even bishop f6 or bishop d2 could have been interesting. d6, knight c3, bishop g4. Vaishali is in some prep, and white is better. Bishop a2, a5, g5, h5, yes, g4, f4. So this rook g8, 92, 96, takes f3. White is much better after d4. And here something like b6. And here white doesn't have anything. Takes, queen takes d5. This. And position is too closed. And here they agreed in a draw. And let's see the tournament standings after 9 rounds. And we are having Nguyen Taidai 1, 6.5 points out of 9. Erwin Lamy and Bok Benjamin are having 6 points. Aydin Süleymanli and Nogerbek Tazibek are having 5.5 points. Yes, it's very good that Nogerbek is back after bad start of the tournament, losing against Lu. We see four players: Lu, Vaishali, Svane, Gurel, +1, 5 points out of 9. Nodirbek Yakubov is 4.5 out of 9. Arthur Peach Bears 3.5. Oro Faustino 2.5. Divya 2. Bulmaga Irina 1 point. Yes, definitely tournament doesn't go well for Irina. She's struggling, suffering, and for Divya as well. Also for Faustino. But it was more or less expected. Like with the rating against such top players. But from the other point of view, like Louis playing quite good. +1 in such a tournament. Thank you very much, dear friends. Continue following chess. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave your comments. And thank you very much.